भक्ति तेजहारा पाइलो गोविंद चरण
जय तेज पत्नी जय कन्या गान भक्ति तेजहारा पाइलो गोविंद चरण
श्रीरस मंडल जय जय राधा जय जय रास लीला सर्व
मंडला जय जय राधा श्यामा जय जय रस लीला सर्व मनोरमा
जय जय जल रस सर्वरस अरधिया भावे जा ब्रज प्रजा
जय जय बाला रसा सर्वरस रखिय भावे जा रजते प्रचार
श्री जानव पाद पद्मा गौरिया स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दास कोहे नाम संकीर्तन
जह्नाव पादा पद्मा या स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दास को हे नाम संकीर्तन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन वृंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन I think this side is better. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for coming. We'll directly jump into the session. You already did the kirtan. Okay. He has come. No, he can play. Do a short kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nil Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Sita, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshmana Hanuman. Jayo Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jayo Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jayo Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jayo Nitai Sachi Sundar. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Srinivas Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Jai. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for taking your time and coming here in person. And thank you those of you who are attending online. Amritananda Prabhu. So with your blessings, I'll get started. So I seek
Hare Krishna.
Shri Radha Nila Madhav, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Srila Prabhupada, and I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that right things may come at the right time from my mouth, and I'll be of some inspiration to everyone. At the same time, I'll take some inspiration from all of you. With that, let's get started. So today we're going to discuss Bhīṣma Stuti, set of prayers spoken by Bhīṣma Dev. mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. So Bhīṣma Stuti is one of the very beginning prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam, right from the beginning all the way till the end, till the 12th canto. So we have I don't know how many, about 100 plus prayers, out of which the very first prayer is in chapter 8, Kunti prayers of Queen Kunti, and then the next chapter, very next chapter, chapter 9, Bhīṣma Stuti. So one time when I mentioned Bhīṣma Stuti or prayers of Bhīṣma Dev, somebody misunderstood it as these are the prayers glorifying Bhīṣma Dev. So if somebody is understanding it that way, I want to clarify. These are the prayers spoken by Bhīṣma Dev glorifying Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. So how many of you have not recited or have not heard of Bhīṣma Stuti before? Okay, Vaishali, one. Okay, yeah. Majority already know. So today morning, when I was in the temple during Mangalarti time, Miss Radha or Radha Mataji, who is on the call now, so she asked me a very interesting question. What is the benefit of reciting or hearing, understanding or learning prayers? Vaishnava prayers or prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam, like Bhīṣma Stuti. What is the benefit? There has to be some falashruti, right? Whenever we are doing something, there has to be some benefit. Otherwise, we are not inspired to do anything. So she was asking, what is the falashruti? So what do we get? So we will discuss two things, okay? Because Bhīṣma Stuti is part of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll talk about glories of Srimad Bhagavatam for a couple of minutes, and also what is the benefit of learning or reciting or hearing prayers like Kunti prayers, Bhīṣma Stuti, and so on. So what is the benefit of reciting or learning prayers? Does anyone want to say anything? What happens when you recite, when you learn, when you understand prayers like Queen Kunti or Bhīṣma Stuti? What happens?
Good vibration.
Good vibrations. Good vibrations. Very good. That's what we're going to create now. Yes. Yeah. Brajaran Prabhu already started creating good vibes. Yeah.
It invokes auspiciousness.
It invokes auspiciousness. Very good. What else?
Purification.
Purification of the mind. Very good. Akshara? By the way, Akshara, she knows Hanuman Chalisa full. One day she recited in our class in Bothal. So what happens when you recite Hanuman Chalisa or any prayers like this? Hanuman Chalisa is a prayer, right? What happens?
You get inspired.
You get inspired? Okay, very good. Inspired to do what? Inspired to do more bhakti, right? Okay? Yeah.
So there's a research happened. There's a research happened on Hanuman Chalisa. So neuroscientists saying that you need to have certain frequencies. When you step on the floor,
Yeah.
you get some earth frequency to your body. You get neutralized audio or negativity.
Mm.
You are sending to the earth and all. So when you're doing Hanuman Chalisa, it has inbuilt where you can able to go up and down and all. It will like resonate the brain,
Yeah.
and it will increase your memory power automatically without you're thinking about what frequency I need to do it up and down.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's very beautiful recitation which is having everything.
Okay. So that's at the bodily level, right? So it has benefits at the neuron level. So it has benefit to the brain, obviously. Yes. You are saying something.
Same, like it gives the positive energy to you.
Yeah. Okay. So anybody online?
Prabhuji, this is what I understood from you. When we recite or hear how he prayed to Krishna,
Oh yeah,
the prema will, when we recite how he prayed, then when we hear about how much love he had for Krishna, it increases the love for us towards him. It motivates us to get his love. Is that right?
yeah. So you already know the answer, and you you asked me in the morning. Very good. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay. So, Rajran Prabhu.
The prayers are part of the one of the Bhakti Anga Vandanam. It's how you basically communicate with the Lord, and so the main thing of prayer is that keep you grounded, right? Because you are trying to be like when you recite Kunti prayers, you kind of try to get into her kind of mood, like how she was in a precarious condition and prayed for Krishna.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a main anga of one of the main angas of
Bhakti.
Bhakti.
Yeah. Oh, Jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. Can sit.
Come.
Sit here.
Prayers, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Sridhar Gopal.
Yeah. So if you take example of Kunti prayers, shows how much they are dependent on the Lord.
So online, is everyone able to hear? I know when I am speaking, you will be able to hear because I'm closer to the laptop. But when others
No,
are speaking,
Prabhu, we are not able to hear.
you're not able to hear?
No,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So keep this phone, keep this next to you, and we'll try.
So take an example of a Kunti prayers.
Okay, how about now, Prabhu? More close.
Yeah, take an example of Kunti prayers. So there we can learn how much Kunti Mataji, she is dependent on the Lord Krishna. So depending on the prayers, we can see how much.
The voice is still coming. The mic is still from here. It is mic is only the video is getting closer. So mic is still on your laptop.
So let's connect the
Here, mic.
audio also.
Then you have to mute yourself.
Oh yeah, unmute there.
Yeah, it's muted.
No speak.
No.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, we are able to hear.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What I was saying is, Kunti Mata, so that shows that how much she is dependent on the Lord. So from prayers we can learn about the sedative, pay to the head, so devotion, the shield goes there. At the same time, it shows the mood of the devotee. That shows how is inner mood. Outward maybe he is a Kshatriya, but inner mood is like emotional, yes, anything happened, it's because of the Krishna. So much faith and devotion. Volume is down. No, that is that is Śrī Bhīṣma.
Yeah. Okay. So, Amritanda Prabhu, can you hear us now?
Yes, Prabhuji. But I was not able to hear what Sridhar Prabhu said at the
Hare
end.
Krishna, online people, Amritanda Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm speaking.
So many things I have to mute, unmute. There is that phone listening.
Too much technology.
Okay, we need to simplify this. Okay. I think from next time onwards, I'll give mic to whoever wants to speak. Yeah. Okay. So prayers, we heard all beautiful answers from everybody. What is the benefit of the falashruti of hearing, learning, reciting, understanding these prayers? Okay. So I just want to add to whatever everybody mentioned, right? Prayers, understanding prayers, reciting prayers will help us develop attachment for Krishna. Right now, we don't have attachment for Krishna. So prayers will help us develop attachment for Krishna. So we're going to see in Bhīṣma Stuti, Bhīṣma prayers today. In every shloka, Bhīṣma Dev prays to Krishna to have rati for Krishna. In our Sri Krishna Kathamritam, the first topic was spoken by Vrajaran Prabhu. The topic itself was Gaurarati. And during that topic, during the presentation, Vrajaran Prabhu mentioned that Arati means, Rati means attraction. Arati means unlimited attraction. So when you participate in Arati or when you're performing Arati, either at home or in the temple, what is happening? You're increasing your attachment or attraction for Krishna. Similarly, when you hear Krishna Katha, when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, when you hear, especially when you hear prayers, heartfelt, emotional prayers of devotees like Bhīṣma Dev, Kunti Maharani, so our attachment, our attraction for Krishna increases, our arati increases. Okay, that is one benefit. Another benefit is it helps with smarana of the Lord, remembrance of the Lord. Among the Navavida Bhakti, the 9 limbs of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Vandanam, Atmanivedanam. All the 8 limbs of this devotional service have to culminate in one anga, that is Smarana, Vishnu Smarana. In Vishnu Sahasranama it is mentioned, Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchyate Namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Om Namo Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Śrī Vaishampayana Uvacha Shrutva Dharmana Sheshena Pavanani Cha Sarvasha, and so on. So what does the very first line say? Yasya Smarana Matrena. Even if one remembers the Lord for one matra, for a fraction of time, then what happens? Janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastas. Vimuchyate. Muchyate means liberation. Vimuchyate means vishesha rupena muchyate. So what is that vishesha rupena muchyate? Muchyate means liberation. Liberation from this cycle of birth and death. Vishesha rupena muchyate means we will get Paramapadam, Vaikuntha Prapti. Okay? So, Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat. So, this topic of Smarana is mentioned in many prayers, many literatures, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. In fact, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is about Smarana. Okay? How to focus mind on Krishna. That is one of the Charama Shlokams of Bhagavad Gita. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Okay, always fix your mind upon me. So, if Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas, what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? 9th chapter. And what is the Charama Shloka of 9th chapter? Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Okay, Krishna repeats that instruction 2 times, once in 9th chapter and again in 18th chapter. So, and Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Always chant my glories. Always sing my glories. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Okay? And this Smarana is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam in many places. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Para Pumsan Ante Narayana Smriti. We heard this many times, especially the last line, Ante Narayana Smriti. We don't know the first 3 lines, but Ante Narayana Smriti, everyone heard of it. So what does this shloka say? Etavan Sankhya Yoga Abhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Para Pumsan Ante Narayana Smriti. The end result or the ultimate goal of Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, all other types of yogas is to remember Lord Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna at the time of death. And Krishna tells in 8th chapter, Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastrat asamshayaha. Krishna says, whoever remembers me at the time of death, they will come to me for sure. There's no doubt about it. So we have to cultivate this habit of smarana. And how can we cultivate this habit of smarana, and how can we develop attachment or attraction to Krishna? Only by learning how devotees like Kunti Devi, Bhishma Dev, or gopis, how they developed attraction, attachment to Krishna, and how they practiced this limb of smarana in devotional service. So we can only develop this smarana by learning from devotees like this. Okay? And most importantly, our dear Kulishekara Alvar in Mukundamala Stotra, just like how Bhīṣma Stuti, the 11 shlokas of Bhīṣma prayers, are full of this concept of smarana. Similarly, Mukundamala Stotra, the 53 shlokas, out of 53, about 40-45 shlokas are all about smarana only. They're all about smarana. You take any ashtakam, for example, Damodara Ashtakam. So which shloka, which stanza from Damodara Ashtakam talks about this smarana, a remembrance of the Lord? Sriji Vallavi Mataji. Yes, Meera, go ahead. Idam teva purnata gopala balam sada me manasya virashtam kimanya. Yeah. And any other examples anybody would like to give from other stotrams, other ashtakams, other literature? Smarana, yeah. Where is it mentioned?
I have a different question.
We will come to that. Wait. Yeah. Smaranam. Chaitanya Sundar Prabhu, are you there?
There is one, there is Kapha Pitta Vata. I don't know. That's maybe Mukundamala Sutra only, like where he's.
Yeah. Gudamala Sutra, there are 40-45 shlokas. Yeah, that is Prabhupada's most favorite shloka from Mukundamala Sutra. Yeah. He always recites that shloka. Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam advaiva me vishatu manasa raja hamsa prana prayana samaye kafavata pitthai kantavarodhana vidau smaranam kutaste. Kulishekara Alvar prays to Krishna, Mukunda, saying that just like how a swan or a bird in the lake tries to enjoy the water sporting activities by trying to enter into the lotus flower through the petals of the lotus flower. Similarly, let my mind try to enter your lotus feet. Okay, the analogy is just like how the bird is trying to enter the lotus flower. Let my mind also enter your lotus feet. But how can I do that at the time of death? At the time of death, my throat is choked with kapha, pitta, and so on. And I may not be in a good condition to remember you. So how can I do that? Now what should we learn from that? When Kulishekara Alvar says, Pranaprayana samaye kafavata pittai kantavarodana vidau smaranam kutastai. Smaranam kutastai. How can I remember you? How is it possible? So, what should we learn from this? Actually, what is the meaning of that shloka? When Kulshekhar Alvar says, Smaranam kutaste, what does he mean actually? When Kulshekhar Alvar says, Smaranam kutaste, I may not be in a condition to remember you at the time of death. So, what is the implicit meaning of that?
He will remember. God knows what all things He has done throughout. So He will not forget.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah, he has to make us remember. Okay.
also, I would say old age is so many challenges of the body. So when we are healthy, then we should use most of our like in the youth and when we are healthy to remember Krishna.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, that's the lesson. You know, when Kulshekhar Alvar says, Smaranam kutaste, at the time of death, how can I remember you at the time of death? Because my health condition may not support. That means, one Acharya also commented saying that Kulshekhar Alvar wanted to leave this, body while he is still healthy only, so that he can remember Krishna. That is one comment by one Acharya. But the practical lesson for all of us is, as Vajrayana Prabhu said, we should practice Smarana while we are still in good conditions. Yeah. So that's what we are trying to do by learning these prayers.
Also, I was remembering the sixth verse of Shadgoswami Astakam.
Yeah. Why don't you recite?
Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Nativi Kala Vishani Krito Nigrahara Vihara Kaji Vijito Chaitanya Dino Viha Radha Krishna Guna Smriti Re. Means we should be able to remember Radha Krishna's gun. Madhurima Mandena Samodhito, then Vande Rupa, that starts. So that verse also talks about the remembering. I mean, that's how the Sadgoswamis were kind of, from the Astakam standpoint, right? They were always remembering Radha Krishna's.
Yeah.
So that means like without remembrance, can you do anything? Do the normal activity?
I would say, what differentiates devotional service versus other is that we always feel connections or remembrance to Krishna. Right? So
without remembrance, there is no Shavan.
Yeah.
There is no Kirtanam.
Yeah.
Okay. No Padasevanam. So remembrance is always have to be there. Without as a basic qualification.
Ramaraksha Stotra. Yeah. Can you sing that line? Sharanam Prapadya. Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is another shloka, glorifying Smarana. Okay, in fact, Vajrayana Prabhu, the kirtan that you sang in the beginning, Srija Nava Pada Padma Koriya Smaran Dina Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankirtan. So, Krishnadas Babaji is praying that please give me please bestow me the ability to remember you, Smarana. So who is praying? Krishna? Krishnadas Babaji is the eternal servant of Srimati Radharani. So he himself is praying. Okay. So there are many shlokas, many ashtakams. Almost every literature glorifies this primary limb of Smarana. Okay. So with that, we will jump into the session today. So in the entire Mahabharata, after Lord Sri Krishna, the most prominent personality is Bhīṣma Dev. In the entire Mahabharata, there are so many episodes, so many incidents happened. In the entire Mahabharata, after Lord Krishna, Bhīṣma Dev is the most prominent personality. Pandavas are also important, but more than Pandavas, it is Bhīṣma Dev. Yeah. Because Bhīṣma Dev is the one who protected Pandavas. So what is the meaning of the word Bhīṣma, first of all?
The one who took the ferocious vow to.
Ferocious vow. Very good. Yeah. So when Bhīṣma Dev wanted to get the marriage of his father Satyavati, Shantanu, with the fisher lady Satyavati, then the father of Satyavati puts condition saying that if I give my daughter in marriage to your father, her children or her son will not become the king. And then Bhīṣma Dev, and then he will say that because Bhīṣma Dev is already declared as the next king, then Bhīṣma Dev says, no, I will give up the kingdom. And then the father says that, okay, that's fine, but very soon you will get married and then you will have children. So they might become the princess. Okay. Then he says, no, I will not marry. Then the father again asks, saying that, okay, you will not take up the kingdom, you will not marry. But then what are you going to do? You are a Kshatriya, you are a great Kshatriya. At some point you might change your mind and you might take the throne, right? Then Bhīṣma Dev says, no, I make a vow that I will always protect the throne of Kurus. Yeah. Whoever sits on the throne of Kuru dynasty, I'll always protect that king. So hearing all these ferocious promises, especially not getting married, hearing that from a Kshatriya, that's the most prominent one. So hearing this, the father of the fisher lady, Satyavati, is satisfied, and then he agrees to give Satyavati in marriage to Shantanu. And hearing this, all the devatas, hearing what? Hearing these ferocious vows, the 3 vows, all the devatas are so happy, and they say, Bhīṣana, Bhīṣana. And that's how our Devavrata gets the name Bhīṣma. Okay. So before that, his name was Devavrata. Another meaning of the word Bhīṣma is Bhīṣana Asmat iti Bhīṣma. Bhīṣana Asmat iti Bhīṣma. One who invokes terror in others, one who invokes fear in others. Bhīṣma Dev, we call him Pitamaha, the greatest personality in the history. So whenever the enemies see him on the battlefield, they get fear and terror in their minds. So Bhīṣana Asmat iti Bhīṣma. So what are the different works of Bhīṣma Dev? What has he contributed? Before that, actually. So why or what is the standout quality or contribution or service of Bhīṣma Dev in the entire Mahabharata? What is the standout or striking feature of Bhīṣma Dev?
He didn't like that war. He was part of that side which he didn't like Kauravas. He was standing like.
No, that is towards the end, but throughout his life, if you observe his entire life, so what is the striking thing or standout thing from Bhīṣma Dev's life? One word.
Determination.
Austerity.
Determination. Okay.
Austerity.
You said austerity. You're close.
Sacrifice, Prabhu.
Sacrifice. Very good. Sriji Vallavi? Snehavali Mataji. Thank you. Yes, sacrifice. Bhīṣma Dev sacrificed his life not for one generation, but for 4 generations. Throughout 4 generations, he sacrificed his life. So that's the standout or striking thing from Bhīṣma Dev's life. Okay. And what is his contribution? What are the works? Vishnu Sahasranama, Bhīṣma Stuti, and then he
Maybe
spoke.
protection, Prabhu. Maybe protection.
Raja Yoga to Yudhishthira.
Yeah, so he spoke Raja Dharma, Stri Dharma, Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he spoke all these different dharmas in about 25,000 shlokas. That's the volume of Ramayana. Ramayana has about 24,000 shlokas. And Bhishma Dev spoke all these different dharmas, how to, to teach Yudhishthira Maharaj how to rule the kingdom nicely. He spoke different dharmas in about 24 to 25,000 shlokas. So that's the volume of the contribution of Bhishma Dev. So, and Bhishma Dev is popularly known as Mahajan. Okay, so where is it mentioned that he is Mahajan? Bhagavatam. So, what is that shloka? Does anyone say online?
Shambhu Narada Bali Vaya Sakhi. I don't know.
You all remember the last line. Mahajan or Yamagan.
What the last line?
Brajaran Prabhu remembers the first line.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This much silence is not good.
Sriji Vallabhi Mataji is there. She will have all the answers.
Prabhu, this verse I also don't know. I think it starts with Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu.
Yeah.
Then
Kumaro, Kapila, Manu.
Kumara, Kapilo, Vyasa, and last
Kapilo, Manu.
last Kapilo, Manu. Okay. And
Prahlada,
Prahlada,
Bhishma, Janaka.
Parada, Bhishma,
Janaka.
Janaka, Vayasa, Balim, Vayasakhim,
Balir.
Vayam. So Vayam is
Balir,
Yamadev is
Vyasa.
speaking. So Yamaraj is
Yeah.
speaking. So yeah.
Yeah. Balir, Vayasaki.
Vayam.
Vayam. Yeah. Okay. So 12 Mahajans. So who gave the list of these 12 Mahajans? Yamadharmaraj himself. Okay. And then there is another place where Bhishma Dev is mentioned as one of the topmost devotees. Which is that shloka? It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Rupa Goswami quotes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from a reference from Narada Pancharatna. Ananya mamata Vishnu mamata prema sanghata bhakti rityuchyate Bhishmo Prahladodhava Narada. So there are 4 personalities here: Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, Narada. So outside Vrindavana, if you look at the list of Krishna's devotees, outside Vrindavana, it is Uddhava who is one of the topmost devotees. Similarly, Bhishma Dev is one of the topmost devotees. Okay. Vidura is a devotee, but not like these topmost devotees. He is not a Mahajan. Yeah. Okay. So the context of this let me share the screen for online people. So the context of this Bhīṣma Stuti is that so Bhishma Dev was about to die on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and then after the Kurukshetra war ended, Bhishma Dev is lying on the bed of arrows, and then on this side, on the Pandava side, Yudhishthira Maharaj, even after winning the kingdom, he is not happy. In fact, he has great regret in his heart. He's saying that because of me, thousands and millions of people have died. I am the cause of the death of all these people. So he has great regret in his mind. Then Dhaumya, who is the head priest or the advisor of Pandavas, he tried to counsel him. He could not convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then Vasudev tried to convince. He could not. Then Krishna tried to convince. I mean, Krishna can, but he pretended as if he could not convince Bhishma Dev. Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then he takes Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma Dev, who is lying on the bed of arrows. Why is he lying on the bed of arrows? Yeah, he has Ichamrityu. So who gave that boon to Bhishma Dev? Huh? His father. Yeah. When he sacrificed his life, then he being pleased, Shantanu Maharaj, he gives that boon to Bhishma Dev, Ichamrityu. So, but why? What is he waiting for?
Krishna.
He's basically waiting for Krishna. Okay. The external reasons are he's waiting for Uttarayana, and there is another meaning of Uttarayana which we'll discuss, sometime later. So Bhishma is waiting for Krishna to arrive there so that he can depart from this material world. Huh? Yeah. So Krishna asks all the Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira Maharaj, to dress up in a royal attire, and then all the Pandavas along with Krishna, everybody goes to the place where Bhishma Devi is lying on the bed of arrows, and seeing everybody, Bhishma Devi is very happy. Bhishma Devi, he cannot perform any of the bodily actions. The only thing that is moving is his tongue. Okay. So with his tongue only, he offered some prayers to receive them, because when there is a guest coming, you have to receive, especially when the greatest personality, Lord Shri Krishna, is coming, you have to receive with choicest of words. So Bhishma Dev receives everybody with some glorification, and then Bhishma Dev starts speaking. In chapter 9 of Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhishma Dev starts speaking. This chapter is titled as The Passing Away of Bhishma Dev. Okay. So Bhishma Dev tries to console or pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj by saying different things here. Okay. So Bhishma Dev says, Aho kashtam aho nyayam yadyuyam dharmanandana jivitum narhata klishtam vipra dharma chutashrayah. So seeing Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhishma Dev sympathizes first of all, saying that you are such a great king, you do not qualify to go through all these miseries that you have gone through. And if we look at the miseries that you have gone through, you do not even deserve to live. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam, injustice, yat yuyam dharmanandanaha. Yudhishthira Maharaj is the son of Yamadharmaraj, Dharmanandana. Okay, Nandanandana is the name of Krishna. Like that, Dharmanandana refers to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Jivitum narhata klishtam vipra dharmachutashrayah. Especially, having taken shelter of Vipra and Dharma, Yudhishthira Maharaj and all the Pandavas, they have taken shelter of Vipra, all the Brahmanas, that means saintly people, and also Dharma, they have taken shelter of Dharma. Having Dhaumya on the side of Pandavas as the head priest or the advisor, that itself is an indication that they are the beholders of Dharma. Pandavas are the beholders of Dharma. So Bhishma Devi is saying that since you have taken shelter of Brahmanas and saintly people and Dharma, but still you have gone through so many miseries. So this is not justified. Aho kashtam, aho nyayam. Okay, and then he tries to explain what are the possibilities for all the miseries that they have gone through. So whenever we go through some situations in life, what are the possibilities? Why do we suffer? Or why do bad things happen to good people? What do we say in device? What do we say? Karma. And what else?
Lessons to be learned. Lessons learned. Purification.
Purification. Okay. Now, what are the different factors that can make one suffer? Karma. Very good. Let's say there is no karma, there is no bad karma, but still there will be some suffering, right?
Suffering by the living entities. Nature.
Yeah. So which factor makes that happen? Let's say there is no bad karma, that means all enjoyment only, but still the person has to die, right?
Time factor.
Time factor. Kala and karma. Okay? So Bhishma Dev tries to pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj, saying that, he says that because of karma, all these miseries have happened. And then again he says, no, you are pure devotees of Krishna. So you are not subject to karma. Okay? Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam chayada priyam safalo yad vashe loko vayor iva ganavalihi. So, all done by inevitable,
Time.
This is about,
Wind controls time.
No, I think we are missing one verse here.
The suffering of Kunti.
Huh?
No, you said Vipradharma Achyuta and then Kala.
Yeah, probably one verse is missing about karma. Anyways, so karma, they are not subject to karma because they are pure devotees of Krishna. Okay. Then the next possibility is kala, because time is a forcing factor on living entities, by which all the janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi things will happen. Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam chayada priyam safalo yat vashe loko vayoriva ganavalihi. And then Bhishma Dev says, now how can you be subject to kala also? How can the devotees be subject to kala? The materialistic people, non-devotees, are subject to kala because with every breath they are one step closer to death. Whereas the devotees, with every breath, they are one step closer to Krishna. As time passes, devotees are closer to Krishna, and as time passes, the non-devotees are getting closer to death. So, what is that shloka? Ayur harati vaipumsan.
The sun every day is there, right?
Yeah. Ayur harati vaipumsan. Udayan ashtam chayan asau. Tasyarte yan kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Okay, it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever we discussed. Okay, so you are devotees. So how can time affect you to go through these miseries? So it is not time. Then who is beyond time and karma? The two possibilities that we discussed, time and karma, they are ruled out by Bhishma Dev. Then who is beyond time and karma? It is Krishna only. So then finally Krishna says, it is Krishna's plan that you have to go through so much of suffering. Okay. No one can know the plan of Krishna. Nahyasya karchidid rajan puman veda vidishtitam yad vijñāsāya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. So after pacifying Yudhishthira Maharaj, now Bhishma Dev shifts his focus to Krishna. So he declares that the personality standing in front of all of us is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat Adhyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Gudas Charati Vrishnishu. So he is declaring that Krishna is Adhyo Narayana. That means he is the source of Narayana also. Adhyo Narayana. Krishna is the source of Narayana also. And only Mahajans know Lord's glories. Even though Lord is visible to everybody, only devotees or saintly people can recognize him. Krishna was visible to Duryodhana also, but Duryodhana could not recognize him. And then he glorifies some of the qualities of the Lord. Sarvatmanaha, Samadrisha, Anahankrite, Advaya, Niravadya, and so on. And then, after glorifying Krishna, or after declaring Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, after glorifying some of his qualities, now here, Bhishma Dev asks Krishna, or requests Krishna to wait. This is one of the most important shlokas. Sadheva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshitam Kalevaram Yavadidam Hinomyaham Prasanna Sarunalochano Lasan Mukham Bhujo Dhyana Patas Chaturbhujaha. Imagine somebody is asking Krishna to wait. Oh, by the way, I forgot your question.
You also.
I'm in wait mode.
You are in the wait mode. Okay, so park your question. We will come back to that. If you are forgetting, then write down.
No, I can't.
Okay. So Bhishma Dev requests Lord to wait.
He has mentioned four-handed form. So did Krishna take four-handed form before?
Yeah. So Bhishma Dev was worshipping Krishna in the Narayana form, four-handed Chaturbhuja form. Actually, in this before Bhīṣma Stuti, in one of the shlokas, Bhishma Dev mentions the Chaturbhuja form. There is one shloka in Bhīṣma Stuti also, where he mentions the Chaturbhuja form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay?
Krishna Chakram, Sanka Chakram, I got, but I was thinking, how come Krishna will have, he's like having only flute, right? How come he will have Sanka Chakram? Like this seems to be four-handed form. So.
Yeah, it is Vishnu Narayana form. Yeah, not Krishna form. Yeah. Okay. So with that, we'll now enter into Bhīṣma Stuti, the actual topic. Are we on time?
Yes. Yes. Give it transcendental time.
Okay. So we'll recite all the shlokas, 11 shlokas, and then we'll discuss how much ever is possible today. If not, next week. Okay? Probably ready on that. Pravalika, come down. Can you play Mridanga? You can play Mridanga, no? Mridanga. Can you play? Okay. Okay, so let's recite these shlokas. These shlokas are in a meter called Pushpitagra meter. The first line has 12 syllables, second line has 13 syllables, then 12 and then 13. Okay, so alternatively 12, 13, 12, 13 like that. Every shloka is like this. So it's a very beautiful meter. It goes like this. Śrī Bhīṣma Uvacha इति मतिरुपकल्पिता वितृष्णा भगवती सात्वत पुंगवे विभूमि
भगवती सास्वत पुंगवे विभूमि
स्वसुखमुपगते क्वचिद्विहर्तुं प्रकृतिमुपेयुषि यद्भवा प्रवाहा
स्वसुखमुपगते क्वचिद्विहर्तुं प्रकृतिमुपेयुषि यद्भवा प्रवाहा
त्रिभुवनकमनं तमालवर्णं रविकरगौरवराम्बरं ददाने
त्रिभुवनकमलं तमालवर्णं रविकरगौरवराम्बरं ददाने
युधितुरगरज वपुरलककुलावृताननाब्जं विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे नवद्या वपुरलककुलावृताननाब्जं विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे नवद्या युधितुरगरजो विधूम्रविश्वक् कचलुलितश्रमवार्यलङ्कृतास्ये
युधितुरगरजो विधूम्रविश्वक् कचलुलितश्रमवार्यलङ्कृतास्ये
मम निशितशरैर्विभिद्यमाना त्वचिविलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा
मम निशितशरैर्विभिद्यमाना त्वचिविलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा
सपदि सखिवचो निशम्यमध्ये निजपरयोर्बलयोरतं निवेश्य
सपदि सखिवचो निशम्यमध्ये निजपरयोर्बलयोरतं निवेश्य
स्थितवती परसैनिकायुराक्ष्णा कृतवती पार्थ सखेरते ममास्तु
स्थितवती परसैनिकायुराक्ष्णा कृतवती पार्थ सखेरते ममास्तु
व्यवहितपृतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधात् विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या
व्यवहितपृतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधात् विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या
कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्ययाय चरणरति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु
मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधात्
कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्ययाय चरणरति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु स्वनिगमपहाय प्रतिज्ञं ऋतमधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रथस्था
स्वनिगमपाय मत्प्रतिज्ञं ऋतमधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रथस्था
धृतरथचरणोऽभ्ययाचलद्गुर् हरिरिवहन्तुमि भङ्गोत्तरीया
हरिरिवहन्तुमि भङ्गोत्तरीया
स्थिताभिषिकहतो विषेर्नदंशा क्षतझपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभमधिससार्मद्वधार्तं स भवतु मे भगवान् गते मुकुन्धा
भवतु मे भगवान् गते मुकुन्दा
विजयरथकुटुम्बात्ततोत्रे धृतहयरस्मिनिता श्रिये क्षणीये भगवतिरतिरस्तु मे मुमूर्षोर्यमिह निरीक्षहता गता स्वरूपम् विजयरथकुटुम्बात्ततोत्रे धृतहयरस्मिनिता श्रिये क्षणीये भगवतिरतिरस्तु मे मुमूर्षोर्यमिह निरीक्षहता गता स्वरूपम् ललितगतिविलासवल्गुहासा प्रणयनिरीक्षणकल्पितो रुमाणा कृतमनुकृतकय अन्मधान्दा प्रकृतिमघं किल यस्य गोपवध्वा भूमिगणधूपवर्य सङ्कुलेन्ता सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूयेषा अर्हणमुपपेद ईक्षणीय मम दृशि गोचर एष आविरात्मा अहमजं शरीरभाजं हृदि हृदि निष्ठितमात्मकल्पिताना प्रतिदृशमिव नैकादार्थमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहा इति मतिरुपकल्पिता वितृष्णा भगवती सात्वत पुंगवे विभूमि सुखमुपगते क्वचिद्विहर्तुं प्रकृतिमुपेयुषि यद्भवा प्रवाहा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री भीष्म स्तुति की जय, भीष्म पितामह की जय. No, that's not the end of the class.
I know. You can do that. I have to go to Maple Well.
What's the time now?
12:40.
Okay, we go on until 2 o'clock.
He has to go to class.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah. So before we start getting into the details of each of the shlokas, I want to tell you one very interesting thing. One of the children in our Bothal Sangha, her name is Lasyavi. So she memorized this full Bhīṣma Stuti within a very short time actually. So she followed Amarendra Prabhu's tune, the video recital of this, and then she memorized everything. She wrote down, okay, and then in the school, so she's in 2nd or 3rd grade, okay. In the school, there is a concept of some award, okay, some giving an award to the children in the class. So 1 week, so she got that award, and then when they receive that award, they get to choose some music that they will play. The teacher will play in the class when all the children are entering into the classroom.
In the music class.
In the music class. Okay. So then the teacher asked this girl, Lasyavi, what would you like to choose? She wanted to play Bhīṣma Stuti from Amrendra Prabhu. Yeah, and they played Bhīṣma Stuti in the classroom. So now look at the glories of Bhīṣma Stuti. Yeah. So very, very beautiful, heartfelt, emotions of Bhīṣma Dev, as it is mentioned, right? At the time of on the Zoom, okay. So as it is mentioned, when we leave this body at the time of death, our entire life is played back in front of our eyes, right? For 10 seconds or whatever short span of time. So we'll recall everything that we have done in our lifetime, all the good things, bad things, everything. If there's any bhakti that we have done, we'll remember that bhakti also. So similarly, Bhīṣma Dev is recollecting so many incidents. So in one shloka, he is remembering the Parthasarathi form of Krishna, and in another shloka, he is remembering the beautiful form of Krishna in general. In another shloka, he is remembering the fighting spirit of Krishna. In another shloka, he is remembering Krishna marching towards Bhīṣma Dev with the chariot wheel. Another shloka, he is remembering gopis. Another shloka, Rajasuya Yajna. Yeah? So like that, he is remembering everything, whatever has happened in his life. And if you observe in every shloka, the essential point that Bhīṣma Dev is making is, let me have attraction to Krishna. Vijaya sakhe ratirastu me navadya. Hritavati partha sakhe ratir mamastu. Charana rati paramasya tasya mestu. Sabhavatu me Bhagavan gatir mukunda. Bhagavati ratirastu me mumurshor. The third line here. Mama drishi gochara esha aviratma. And finally, samadhi gato smividuta veda moha. So almost every shloka, he is emphasizing this point of remembering Krishna, developing attraction for Krishna. So this is similar to what Kulshekar Alvar says in Mukundamala Stotra. Nashta dharmena vasu nichaye naiva kamopabhoge yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam etat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tat padamboruha yugagata nischala bhaktirastu. So he's praying to Mukunda Krishna, nischala bhaktirastu. That means, let me always have that steady devotion towards you, Krishna. Ananya bhakti, unalloyed devotion towards Krishna. Nischala bhakti rastu. If you go to Harivilas Maharaj, there's a very famous blessing that he gives. Krishna bhakti matirastu. Krishna matirastu. Krishna matirastu. So where is this coming from? Krishna matirastu. Where is this coming from? Anyway, we all heard from Harivilas Maharaj, but originally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, it's mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay.
Is it only for blessing, or when we pray, we can also pray that Krishna blessing let us. Can we pray for ourselves? Like we should think about Krishna, or only for others is a blessing?
Yeah, we can play for ourselves, like how Bhīṣma Dev is saying, Vijaya sakhe ratir astu me anavadya. Anavadya means unalloyed. Vijaya sakhe ratir astu me mama astu. So we can pray for ourselves. That's the whole point. Okay. So let's begin discussion of the shlokas. So the very first shloka, Bhishma Dev says, Iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna bhagavati satvata pungave vibhumni. Iti means thus, therefore, or having done thus. Having done what? Or what therefore? What does it mean by thus? All these things here. So Bhishma Dev is saying that until now I have invested my time in counseling Yudhishthir Maharaj with Rajadharma, Sri Dharma, Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma and so on. And also before that I have invested time in fulfilling my own duties. But now let me invest all my time, thinking, feeling and willing in remembering you, Krishna. Okay, Mati means mind. The faculties of mind are thinking, feeling and willing. Let me now invest my thinking, feeling and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Sri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created or emanated. I think this is here. Created. Yeah. So iti matir, mati is mind, upakalpita means fixed or invested. Let me fix my mind on Krishna. How? With Krishna. Krishna is desire. With Krishna means no desire. No desire for any worldly things, no desire for any material benefits, no desire for anything else other than Krishna, no other desire. Okay? Ananya Mamata. Remember, that's what we discussed from Narada Pancharatna Shoka. Ananya Mamata Vishnu, Mamata Prema Sangataha, Bhakti Rityuchate, Bhishmo, Prahladoddhava Narada. Ananya Mamata. Okay? Unalloyed attachment, unalloyed devotion. Okay? No other desire with Krishna. Bhagavati, unto whom? Unto Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And who is that Bhagavan? He is Satvata Pungave. Satvata Pungave means Pungave is the best, Shrestha, the topmost. Okay? Satvata means there are two meanings. One is best among the devotees. Satvata Pungave means one meaning is best among the devotees. Another meaning is, or the leader of the devotees. We can say leader of the devotees. Another meaning is Satvata Pungave means the best in the Satvata dynasty. Now we all know Krishna belongs to Yadu dynasty. But this Satvata dynasty is a sub-dynasty in Yadu dynasty. So in that sub-dynasty called Satvata, Krishna is the best, Pungave. He is the Shrestha. Okay? So let me fix my mind up onto that personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is the best in the Satvata dynasty, who is also the leader of all the devotees. And what is his another quality? Vibhumni. Vibhu means his Aishwarya. Okay, his opulence. Vibhumni means, now generally when we think of, when we speak of Vibhu, it refers to Vishnu or Narayana. Okay, Vibhumni means the source of Vibhu. So who is the source of Vibhu? Krishna himself. Okay, so Bhishma Dev is saying that Krishna, you are the source of that Narayana or Vishnu. You are the source of the opulence of Vishnu or Narayana. Vibhumni. Okay, just the word Vibhu means opulence, but Vibhumni means the source of Vibhu. Okay, and Okay, in fact, let me go to the word for word meaning here. Yeah. Next line. Swasukam upagate kvachit vihartum. Prakritim upeyushi yad bhava pravaha. Swasukam upagate. Swasukam upagate means he is situated in his own abode in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavana. He is self-satisfied. He is Atmarama. He's always happy there. He's always satisfied. He's enjoying the bliss by himself. But sometimes, kvachit, sometimes vihartum. That means he detaches from that spiritual world. And then he descends into the material world. Prakritim upeyushi yad bhava pravaha. So we hear this famous line, especially Telugu, Tamil people can relish this. Śrī Vaikunṭha Viraktaya Swami Pushkarini Tate Ramaya Ramamanaya Venkateshaya Mangalam. So what does that say? Mahavishnu got bored of Vaikuntha, and then he came down and he is performing water sporting activities in a lake called Pushkarini along with Mahalakshmi. Okay. So similarly, Krishna sometimes, even though he's self-satisfied, he's enjoying the bliss in spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavana, but sometimes he descends to the material world. He detaches from the spiritual world and enters into the material world. Does that mean he's not there and he's only here when he comes? No, he's there and he's here also. Okay. Next. Next shloka. Tribhuva. Now here in this shloka, Krishna, Bhishma Dev glorifies Krishna's Rupa Madhuri, his form. See, whenever we think of smarana, right, remembrance of the Lord, we can remember the beautiful form of the Lord. We can remember the pastimes or lila of the Lord. We can remember the qualities of the Lord. We can remember the parivara of the Lord, the family members. The parivara are devotees of the Lord. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila and Parivara. Okay? Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila and Parivara. We can have remembrance of all these things. In fact, Ramanujacharya, in his commentary on Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto Shloka, okay, so he tells how to practice this smarana. So he says, smarana is possible only when we swim in 7 oceans. Okay. Now, what are these 7 oceans? Saundarya, Saushilya, Madhurya, Audarya, Gambhirya, Karunya, Vatsalya. The 7 oceans of Krishna. The 7 oceans representing different qualities of Krishna or different aspects of Krishna. Saundarya, Saushilya, Madhurya, Audarya, Gambhirya, Karunya, Vatsalya. Okay. So here, Bhishma Dev is glorifying the Saundarya aspect of Krishna, the beautiful form of Krishna. So what is he saying? Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gaura Varambaram Dadhane. So Tribhuvana Kamanam. So Krishna's form is attractive to everyone in the 3 worlds. Lower, middle and upper planetary systems. Tribhuvana Kamanam. And Tamala Varnam, his bodily complexion is that of bluish Tamala tree. Now here's an interesting thing, right? How many of you have seen Tamala tree when you go to Vrindavan or Mayapur? You didn't see, bro? Tamala tree. Have you seen a bluish colored tamala tree? Either the trunk or trunk, not Trump. I'm doing bhajana of Trump. The trunk or the leaves, the flowers or anything. Have you seen blue color? Oh, you went to Vrindavan, right? Have you seen?
I thought it was more green to me.
The leaves are green, but the trunk is just like any other trunk that you see, brown, black. There's no blue. Amritananda Prabhu, what do you say about Tamala tree?
I also saw green.
In fact, yesterday I wanted to call you and ask, how can we explain this? Tamala and bluish color. Because we hear from all the descriptions by all the acharyas, right? Krishna is the color of Tamala tree, bluish complexion Tamala tree. So in fact, I wanted to call Amritana Prabhu yesterday and ask about this.
Fun fact is that in Japan, they have the same word for blue and green. So if you go to Japan, the signals will be in blue, red and yellow. Like they have the same word, so they put like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have an answer.
I have not heard this. I'm hearing first time, so it's a very interesting question. However, it's said that it's a darkish complexion, darkish blue.
Yeah.
Which and it's a spiritual color, so it's not anything material which we experience through our material senses.
Yeah.
But I will certainly look into it.
Yeah. No, even I don't have an answer for this. Yeah. I was doing research and I was trying to see if there are any images. AI or Google can show some images. But interestingly, Google showed one image of a tree that has bluish trunk. The whole trunk, that long trunk, it's entirely bluish, dark blue complexion. It's man-made. So somewhere in some city, they tried to create some attraction in the city by painting all the trees in blue color. And that is the color of our Shyamasundara, Krishna, the dark blue complexion. But whatever it is, as Amritanda Prabhu said, probably this is spiritual color, which is not visible to our material eyes. Okay?
Krishna also blue or when he was there during Mahabharata, that is also only the devotees can see or anyone can see him as blue.
Krishna can take the form of blue, black, white, green, so many different colors, golden, different colors. But originally, when Gargamuni named Krishna, he named Krishna as Krishna, right? At the time of naming ceremony, Gargamuni said, I am naming him after his color. And the meaning of the word Krishna means all attractive. But another meaning of the Sanskrit word Krishna is black. So Gargamuni said during the naming ceremony, he said, I am naming this boy after his color, Krishna. So originally he is black. Hare Krishna, Lasivi, thank you for coming. Sit. Hare Krishna, Praveen. Yeah, celebrity. She's a celebrity. So she's the one who just spoke about her. Yeah, who memorized Bhīṣma Stuti, and she recites exactly like Amarendra Prabhu. And she chose to play Bhīṣma Stuti in the class, in the school. Okay? And so be ready to sing Bhīṣma Stuti, okay? Yeah. Okay, let's go back here. Tamala Varnam, okay? And then Ravikara Gauravarambaram. So Krishna wears garment which is of the color golden. Ravikara. Ravi is sun, especially morning sun, and Kara is sun rays. Gaura. So that golden hue coming out of the morning sun rays, that is the color of Krishna's garment. Ambaram, Pitambaram, in simple words. Pitambaram, Dadhane. Dadhane means wearing. And then Vapurala Kakula Vritana Nabjam. So here, this translation or this word for word meaning is taken from Veda base. So there is some correction here. I don't know how this thing got entered here. But this line Vapurala Kakula Vritana Nabjam, it means Krishna's face is covered with locks of hair. Locks of hair. Locks of hair means basically curly hair. Curly hair. Vapur is body, especially face. Alaka is covered. No. Alaka is hair. Kula is the groups of hair. Avrita is covered. Ananabjam, the lotus face. Okay, abjam is lotus. Anana is face. Ananabjam is lotus-like face. So Krishna's face is covered with curly hair, groups of hair or locks of hair. You know. Vijaya Sake Ratirastu Me Navadya. Let me have attraction to that Krishna who is attractive in the three worlds. How is he attractive? He has a beautiful bluish bodily complexion and he is always wearing the Pitambara and his face is covered with curly hair. Okay, this is a description of Krishna. Now, when it comes to the description of Krishna's beauty, there are many shlokas in Bhagavatam, Ramayana, other places. So let's open the room for everybody for some discussion. So who can tell some shlokas glorifying either Pitambaram of Krishna or the curly locks of Krishna or the Tamala Varnam of Krishna? Basically shlokas glorifying Krishna's Rupa Madhuri, Saundarya aspect. Yeah.
Shankam, Kaumodaki, Sarasijam, Karuna Samudram, Radha Sakayam, Atisundara Mandahasam, Vatalavesam, Anisham, Shruti Bhavayami. This is the Dhyana Shloka from
where is this from? Narayaniyam. Yeah.
Pitambaram, Karavidarita, Chakra Shankam, Kaumodaki, Sarasijam, Karuna Samudram, Radha Sakayam, Atisundara Mandahasam, Vatala Visam, Anisham, Priti Bhavayami.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Wonderful. That shloka has description of Pitambaram. Anything else? Any other Pitambaram shlokas? Snehavali Mataji? Okay.
Prabhu, did you say my name?
Yeah. So do you know any shlokas glorifying Krishna's beauty?
I am thinking, but मेरे को words नहीं आ रहे, but I'll give a reference. Damodar Ashtakam में where Mother Yashoda kisses his face again and again, Bimba like his lips and locks on his face. So that is coming to my mind, but the verse is not coming, Prabhu. I'm sorry, verse is not coming to me.
Yeah, very good. So it doesn't have Pitambaram there, but it has curly locks of hair. So what is the shloka?
It's the fourth one, right? No, fifth one.
forgetting the verse.
We should have a quiz one time.
Krishna Mandi Jagadguru also has.
No, we'll come there. Yeah. So online, anybody? What is that shloka from Damodara Ashtakam? Where there is a idam te mukambojam atyanta nilai ritam kuntalai snigdharataisha gopya. Ritam kuntalai. Kuntala means the curly locks of hair. Okay. So avritam, here the word avritam is used. Kulavritam. And in Damodara Ashtakam also, Vritam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya. Anything else? Yeah, Praveen, you are saying something.
Yeah, in the Krishna Ashtakam, Rukmini Kevi Samyuktam Pitam Tapsovitam Avaptatulasi Gandham Krishna Mande Jagadguru.
Yeah, very good. Rukmini Keli Samyuktam Pitambara Sushobhitam Avapta tulasi gandham Krishnam vande jagadgurum Krishnam vande jagadgurum Krishnam vande jagadgurum. Yes, beautiful. What else? Ajranpu?
The Randhra Venu, what is that? I'm not able to remember the starting of the
Barahapitam.
Barahapitam. That also defines Krishna's.
Is that Pitambram there?
There is no Pitambram, I'm saying Krishna's beauty.
Krishna's beauty. Yeah. So that is another shloka from Bhagavatam.
I'm not able to remember that verse fully actually.
Okay, the shloka mentioned by Rajaram Prabhu explaining the beauty of Krishna is Barha Pidam Natavara Karnayo Tarnikaram Vibradvasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantincha Malam Randran Venu Radara Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrindai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishan Gita Kirti. There is Kanaka Kapisham. I did not know there is Pitambaram, but yeah, Kanaka Kapisham. Yeah. Okay. And then South Indians have to get some relishment, right? Vishnu Sahasranama. Sashanka Chakre Sachanka Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sapita Vastram Sarasiru Hekshanam Sahara Vakshastala Shobhi Kaustubam Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam Chayayam Parijatasya Hema Sinhasanopari Asinamam Budashyama Mayatakshamalankrutam Chandrananam Chaturbahum Srivatsankita Vakshasam Rukmini Satyabhamabhyam Sahitam Krishnamashraye. Okay? So, and then there is another line in Vishnu Sahasranama. Meghashyamam Pita Kauseya Vasam Srivatsankam Kaustubodvasitangam Punyopetam Pundarikaya Taksham Vishnum Vande Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanadam. Meghashyamam Pita Kauseya Vasam. Pita is yellow, golden, whatever. Kauseya means silk. Yeah. Golden silk garment. Pita Kauseya Vasam. Any other shlokas?
प्रभु वो भी तो है वेणुम कवनांतम अरविंद दलायताक्षम बरहाव्रताम समसितम बुध सुंदरंगम कंदर्प कोटि कमनीय विशेष शोभम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि.
Yeah, from Brahma Samhita, another famous shloka that explains Krishna's beauty is compared to millions of moons put together. That is also not sufficient. Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Now when we hear this word Kandarpa, there is another shloka from Suprabhatam, Venkateshwar Suprabhatam. Kandarpa darpa harasundara divya murte Kanta kuchamburha kutmalalola drushte Kalyana gunakara nirmala divya kirte Sri Venkatachalapate tava suprabhatam Kandarpa Darpa Harasundara Divya Murti. So Krishna's beauty destroys the pride of Kandarpa. Who is Kandarpa? Cupid. Kandarpa Darpa Harasundara Divya Murti. Okay, any other shlokas glorifying the beauty? Anything from the bhajans that you know, Mataji?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Haribol. This bhajan touches my heart. I can say 3 lines. Vanamali Radha Ramana Giridhari Govinda Neelamegha Sundara Narayana Govinda Vanamali Radha Ramana Giridhari Govinda. So it is describing the Neelamegha Shyama.
Neelamegha Shyama. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Neelamegha. When I heard the word Neela, another shloka. Indranilashtakam. Indranilamani Manjula Varna Pullanifa Kusumanchita Karna Krishna Labhira Krushorasihari Sundaro Jayati Kunja Bihari Ashtakam or Indranilashtakam. It's called both. Yeah. So I forgot the most essential point. Kunja Bihari. Okay. You, Prabhu?
So, Prabhu, there is also this verse that we recite during Purushottam Mass. Vande Nava Ghanashyama Dvibhujam Muralitharam Pitambara Dharam Devam Sharadam Purushottamam. So there's a reference of Pitambara there.
Pitambara there, yeah. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
And I think in Vrajaraja Sutashtakam also there are a couple of verses. I forget which one was, I think the 4th one, where it says the second half of the verse, Kativeshtita Pita Patam Sudhatam Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Raja Raja Sutam. So there is a mention of Pita Vasam. And I think that whole verse, that whole Ashtakam is about Krishna's beauty, all limbs of Krishna. It starts with Navanira Dindita Kantidharam, how his complexion is like a newly formed rain cloud. And then Shubhavankima Charu Shikhanda Shikhim, how he has a beautiful peacock feather on his head. And then, Bhrishalanchita Neela Saroja Drisham, his eyes are like lotus petals. I mean, the whole Ashtakam, almost I think 5-6 verses are all about that. So that's another one.
Okay, very, very good. Yeah, thank you. What about Madhurashtakam? Entire thing about beauty of Krishna.
Specifically,
Pitam Madhuram. Yeah. Pitam Madhuram. Golden garment. And then there is a shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It describes about the form of Krishna that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw. That beautiful form of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw. Tribhanga Sundara Deha Madana Murali Pitambara Vanamali Madana Mohana. So Tribhanga Sundara Deha Murali Vadana Pitambara Vanamali Pitambara Vanamala Madana Mohana. Yeah. Anyone else? Sridhar Gopal. Telugu poems, Telugu shlokas. Aparna? We have Sushma on the call. Sushma? I don't know which Sushma. Is it Homa Vatsala, Mataji? Okay, we'll take one last one. Amritananda Prabhu? Aboli.
Sorry, I'm not able to recall any prayers right now. However, I remember, the second canto, chapter number 2. I think this is describing the Lord in the heart. So in this, it's describing the Paramatma. However, it's also talking about the form of the Paramatma, which is there in the heart of the devotee. And it's talking about what he wears, his kundala, his hairs, and all these things are discussed. But I need to look at it, identify the verse.
Okay.
Prabhu, there is Nandanandanashtakam also. Almost all of them glorify Krishna's beauty. Sucharu Vaktra Mandalam.
Yeah.
Sikarna Ratna Kundalam. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's another beautiful one. And then there is Vallabhacharya, or who is the other one? Govinda Damodara Stotra.
Bilva Mangal Thakur.
Bilva Mangal Thakur, yeah. So Bilva Mangal Thakur wrote Kasturi Tilakam, the most famous Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale Vakshastale Kaustubham Nasagre Navamuktikam Karatale Venum Kare Kankanam Sarvangam Cha No Sarvangaka Sarvange Harichandana Kalayam Kante Cha Muktavali Gopastri Pariveshtito Vijayate Gopala Chudamani Vijayate Gopala Chudamani. So this is another shloka. So there are plenty of shlokas. So when we meditate on some of these shlokas, that helps us remember Krishna. Okay, so here Bhīṣma Dev is remembering that bluish complexion of Krishna, wearing yellow garments, and his face is covered with beautiful curly locks of hair. Now, see, we have recited so many shlokas, and there is one shloka from Brahma, right? Naumidyate bravapuse tadidambaraya. So there are so many shlokas. Many acharyas, many great devotees have described the beautiful form of Krishna. But what is the speciality of Bhīṣma Dev? Bhīṣma Dev describes the beauty of Krishna in action. So all the shlokas that we heard so far, they're mostly static form of Krishna. Okay? But in the next shloka that's coming up here, Bhīṣma Dev is going to glorify the beauty of Krishna in action on the battlefield. Okay? How beautiful Krishna looks when he is in action on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That we'll see in the next shloka. But before that, so this kind of gives you an indication of that Tamal. Oh, I'm not sharing for the online people. Okay, so this kind of gives you an idea of what the Tamala tree complexion, dark blue complexion looks like, and the yellow garment, Vaijayanti Mala, Venu, everything, the curly locks of hair, and so on. But is this the form that Bhīṣma Dev was remembering, or is this the form that Bhīṣma Dev was worshipping? No. This is the form that Bhishma Dev was worshipping, Narayana form, Chaturbhuja, Narayana form. Yeah, when I speak about Chaturbhuja form, there is another shloka. Krishna actually was born with Pitambaram. Krishna was actually born with Pitambaram. What is the shloka? Describes Krishna's birth. Tamadbhutam balakamambuje chaturbhujam shanka gadhadyudayudam Srivatsalakshmyam galashobakaustubam Pitambaram sandrapayota shaubhagam Tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. So Krishna's, this Bala Rupam, especially the face, is like a lotus flower. Tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. And then the next line, Chaturbhujam Shanka Gadadyudayudam. He has the four-handed form, wearing all these weapons, Shanka Chakra Gada, Srivatsa Lakshmam, Galashobhi Kaustubam. He is wearing Srivatsa and Kaustuba, Pitambaram Sandra Payoda Shaubhagam. He is wearing Pitambaram and his whole appearance is very, what do you say, Shaubhagam, very glorious. Okay, his form is very glorious. Now when Bhishma Dev is worshipping Chaturbhuja, Narayana form or Vishnu form, and we are all practicing worship of the two-handed Shamasundara form, and we are saying this is the highest. So does it mean Bhishma Dev's worship or Bhishma Dev's conception of Supreme Personality of Godhead is lower than what other devotees practice? No, it is not any lower. Bhishma Dev was worshipping Krishna in Shanta Rasa combined with Dasya. Shanta Rasa combined with Dasya. Now generally, Shanta Rasa is at the bottom of the stack. Madhurya being at the top of the stack. Shanta Rasa, neutrality, is at the bottom of the stack. The lowest rasa. But still, Bhishma Dev, worshipping Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Shanta Rasa mixed with Dasya, he showed the pinnacle of devotion. And he is dearmost to Krishna. He is more dearer than Pandavas. As we discussed in the beginning, right? In the entire Mahabharata, after Krishna, Bhishma Dev is the second most prominent personality. Even though he worshipped Krishna in Shanta Rasa mixed with Dasya. So different devotees can worship Krishna in different rasas. And generally we have some stereotype conception of worship of Krishna, saying that only gopis are the highest, and that is true. The Madhurya Bhava, Gopi Bhava is the highest, but that doesn't mean to say that other rasas or other bhavas are anything lower. So any devotee can worship Krishna in any bhava, and they can serve Krishna in that rasa 100%. And if you look at all the shlokas in Bhīṣma Stuti, right? So Bhishma's attachment or Bhishma's connection to Krishna is Arjuna. That's why he's saying Vijaya Sakhe Ratirastu Me Navadya. Vijaya is another name for Arjuna. And Vijaya Sakha means Krishna. Friend of Arjuna is Krishna. So Vijaya Saka is Arjuna, Krishna. Vijaya Sake Rati Rastu Me Navatya. Let me have attraction towards Krishna, who is friend of Arjuna. Because he was meditating on the form of Parthasarathi form of Krishna. Now, we all heard this story of South Indian Brahmana, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his South India trip, one day he saw a Brahmana outside of a temple trying to, pretending to read Bhagavad Gita. He was holding Bhagavad Gita upside down and then he was crying. Mahaprabhu asks him, why are you crying? It looks like you are trying to read Bhagavad Gita, but you're actually not, because you're holding the book upside down. Are you putting up a show here? Are you pretending that you are reading and you are having emotions? Are you faking it? Then that poor Brahmana says that my spiritual master gave me an instruction to read Bhagavad Gita every day, but I am so unfortunate that I am illiterate. I cannot read Bhagavad Gita, but I'm still trying to do that. Whenever I'm holding Bhagavad Gita and look at the picture of my Lord as Radha-Sarathi riding the chariot of Arjuna, that brings tears in me. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has all the 6 opulences in full, is acting as a chariot driver, performing a menial service to Arjuna. So the poor Brahmana says that when I look at that form of my Lord, that brings tears in my eyes. So Bhīṣma Dev not only has given a description of what that South Indian Brahmana told. See, we heard that story many times. But you will find that description only in Bhīṣma Stuti. In one of the later slokas, Vijayarata Kutumba Atta Totre Dritihaya Rasmin Takshaniye Bhagavati Ratirastu Me Mumurshor Yamiha Niksha Hata. What is that line, Lasavi? Bhagavati Ratirastu Me Mumurshor. Ratirastu me mumurshor irikshahata gata swarupam. Yeah. So
in Chennai there is one temple for Parthasarathi.
Parthasarathi temple. Yeah.
Lord will be having mustache and he is not like Chaturbhuja. He will be holding the rope and then he will be looking like, and Arjuna's deity form also will be there. It's a very unusual form of Krishna.
Yeah.
It's a famous temple in Chennai.
Yeah, I heard about Parthasarathi temple. It's very famous. So, yeah, so we got diverted there because we were talking about different rasas of worship. And Bhīṣma Dev is worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead in Dasya. Shanta mixed with Dasya. And eventually he attained Parthasarathi Loka. Okay. That's one of the planets in Vaikuntha. Okay, next shloka. So here Bhīṣma Dev is describing, I think we'll end with this shloka and then the remaining shlokas we can finish next week. Shloka number 34, Bhīṣma Dev is describing Krishna's beauty in action on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yuditura garajo vidumra vishvak kachalulita shramavaryalankritasye.
Yuditura garajo vidumra vishvak kachalulita
shramavaryalankritasye. Mama nishita sharay vibhidyamana Tvachi vilasat kavachestu Krishna Atma.
Mama nishita sharira vividyamana Tvachi vilasat kavachestu Krishna Atma.
Okay, so let my mind thus go on to Krishna who on the battlefield, it's difficult to read with this Anvaya. Let me go to the translation. Okay. On the battlefield, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of horses, and because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna. So this is a description of Krishna's beauty in action on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So how is this description? Yudhi. Yudhi means the battlefield. On the battlefield. Turaga are the horses. Rajo, dust. We say Braj Raj, right? So the dust from Vrindavan is Braj Raj. And here, this is Turaga Rajo, the dust raised by horses. So here on the battlefield, dust raised by horses. And in Vrindavan, when Krishna is walking, the dust is raised by the cows. Vidhumra Vishwak. Vidhumra is becoming ashen. Okay? What has become ashen? Krishna's body, especially face. Okay? Vishwak, the flowing. What is flowing? Kacha Lulita, his scattered hair. Okay? Now, this is a nice description of the hair. Generally, definitely hair brings some beauty to the person. And now Rajaran Prabhu is laughing. Now, if somebody has long hair like this, obviously ladies have long hair, but even some men also we saw growing long hair like this. And then what to speak of curly hair? Okay, and now what to speak of that hair flowing by the wind and decorating the face. Just imagine. We can only imagine that. Okay.
I can only imagine it.
Yeah, all of us can imagine. And further description of Krishna's beauty. Shramavāri alankritāsya. So his face, Krishna's face, is decorated with the beads of sweat. Krishna's face is decorated with beads of sweat. Okay, the drops of sweat. Those drops or beads of sweat, they appear like pearl beads on his face. They are decorating his face. Okay, the sweat drops or the sweet drops are decorating his face like the pearl beads. Shramavāri alankritāsya. Shrama is the sweat. Alankritāsya. And further description. Mama nishita sharair vibidhyamana. Mama means my. Nishita sharair. The arrows and his body, Krishna's body is decorated with the arrows shot by me. Bhishma Dev is saying this. Okay, now who else can say this? Mama Nishita Sharai Vibhidyamana. When Bhishma Dev shot arrows against Krishna, Krishna was not crying, right? Rather, he was enjoying. Vilasat. Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. He was enjoying the arrow shot by Bhishma Dev, and in fact, those arrows appeared like a armor or kavacha on Krishna's body.
Is this because he shot on Arjuna and some fell on Krishna?
Yeah. So that is what, according to this, shloka, But Sridhar Swami, who is one of the commentators on Bhagavatam, original, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, among all the commentaries, there are different commentaries of Bhagavatam, right? There is Vishwan Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and Sridhar Swami, Jiva Goswami, many commentaries are there. Among all the commentaries, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes Sridhar Swami's commentary the most, for the accuracy or for the up to the point commentary. Sometimes acharyas they give long elaborative description and the essential point is conveyed somewhere, right? So for the readers it might be a little difficult, even though they are giving additional details, but for the readers, like ordinary readers like us, it might be difficult to catch the essential point. Whereas Sridhar Swami, he writes commentary up to the point and very precisely, very accurately.
Very long ago. This Sridhar Swamiji, he wrote very long ago.
Yeah. So, in that commentary, Sridhar Swami mentions that I don't accept the fact that Bhishma Dev shot arrows onto Krishna. So he doesn't agree with that. So, and we don't know how to interpret this because Vasudev wrote this. But as per Sridhar Swami's commentary, that's what it is. So, I mean, he says that how can we claim that we shoot arrows onto Krishna's body? Okay. Okay. So this is the description of Krishna's beauty in action on the battlefield. It's 140, right? So we can pause here. Next week we can go very fast, because we don't have to go through the overview or anything else. We can just focus on the shlokas, 7 more shlokas. We can pause here and reflect on what we have learned, what we have heard today. Any questions, comments, reflections? The mic is open for discussion.
So I'm not clear how you mentioned that Bhishma Dev is in Shanta Rasa plus Dasya Rasa. If anyone can elaborate a little bit on that, that will be good. Thank you.
Yeah. Sridhar Swami's commentary says this, that Bhishma Dev was worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Shantarasa combined with Dasya. Because what are the other possibilities there? Sakya. Bhishma Dev is not trying to become a friend of Krishna. In fact, he is glorifying Arjuna, who is a friend of Krishna. But he is not trying to become Krishna. He is not trying to become friend of Krishna. Okay? And there's no Vatsalya Bhava. There's no parental affection here. There's no what are other things before Madhurya?
Prabhuji, as far as Hare Krishna,
yeah,
is Chaitanya Sundar.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Even though those are 5 primary rasas, there are also many other rasas that the devotees can exchange their love and affection with Krishna. One of them is chivalry, or like the Virya rasa. So as far as I heard in other places, that Bhishma is given as an example for that rasa, where he is actually pleasing Krishna by satisfying him in the mood of a fighter.
So Virya Rasa is, even I also heard that, but Virya Rasa is when we see Krishna fighting with demons. When Krishna shows his valor or his Viryata, when he is fighting with demons, when he is fighting with Kamsa, or when Ramachandra is fighting with Ravanasura, and so on. So when Supreme Personality fights with the demons, then we can say that is Virya Rasa. Okay, Krishna, we can say that Krishna is exhibiting Viryata there. But we cannot say, or somebody who is watching that, somebody who is watching Krishna fighting with the demons, if they are relishing that, we can say that they are worshipping Krishna in Virya Rasa. But here, the fight is between Krishna and Bhīṣma. So we cannot say that either Bhīṣma Dev is showing Viryata here, or Bhīṣma Dev is enjoying Virya Rasa when Krishna is fighting with him. Again, this is in the commentary of Sridhar Swami. I mean, before reading that, even I also heard that Bhīṣma Dev was worshipping Krishna in Chivalry Rasa, Virya Rasa. But basically, it is Shanta combined with Dasya as a servant. So Sakya we ruled out. He was only glorifying Arjuna, who is a friend of Krishna, but he is not trying to become friend. And Madhurya definitely, even though in one of the shlokas, Bhīṣma Dev glorifies the gopis' worship of Krishna, but Sridhar Swami in his commentary he says that Bhīṣma Dev, even though he acknowledges that is the highest form, but Bhīṣma Dev says he is not qualified. He is not qualified to worship Krishna like gopis.
Prabhu, I would like to add something.
Yes, Prabhu.
So in the southern section of Bhakti Rasamritas are like eastern section, western, southern and northern. There are 4 different sections.
Yeah.
So when we generally study in Bhakti Shastri, we generally study the eastern section, which is Samanya Bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
However, later Srila Rupa Goswami talks about the intricacies of rasa.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share a picture with all of you in the group.
Yeah.
Which shows that these 5 are the primary rasas, like they are called as Sthayi Bhāva or permanent mood, which includes, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when this Sthayi Bhāva is combined with, the emotions that are raised in the heart due to interaction with Krishna. So they are again into various categories. It's called as something which becomes like alambana. Alambana means the person, I don't know to go into details, but there is something which triggers, that is called as uddipana. So however, and then, the emotions are experienced. So they go through various stages like vibhava, anubhava, satvika bhavas, vyabhichari bhavas or sanchari bhavas, and etc. etc. The point is that somebody in Dasya can experience Virya Rasa simultaneously. Right? Because that's a secondary, there's a Gona, there is a primary Rasa, which is Sthayi Bhava, permanent mode. And then on the basis, like in that permanent mode, you can experience Hasya, you can experience Karuna. So those are those secondary Rasas. So I just wanted to add that.
So you are saying it's mentioned in that Nectar of Devotion, Prabhu?
Yeah, southern section.
Okay.
It's called as element of
Virya Rasa.
Yeah, all these rasas, how they work, how the details, what is uddipana, how it gets triggered. Basically, for example, mother entering into.
Let me ask my question clearly. So, is there an example of Bhīṣma Dev for Virya Rasa there?
Yeah, no, it's there. Acharyas, even Prabhupada is in many of his classes is saying that he's experiencing Virya Rasa. Because Virya is something like Hasya. He's experiencing jubilance, right? Or comedy. So that can generally, be in either of these permanent mode in which you are. Like you can be a dasya, still you are experiencing hasya.
Yeah.
You
So
can
I
be
asked.
Sakya.
So I asked Hariparsha Prabhu also.
Mhm.
So he also said the same thing that it's we cannot consider Bhishmadev's secondary rasa as Virya rasa. Virya rasa is generally referred to when Krishna is fighting with demons.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's what Sridhar Swami also mentioned in his commentary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he
So
can maybe he
Prabhu,
may not, maybe he's not
can
experiencing virya, but he could be experiencing something else of all those secondary rasas.
Yeah, definitely. In Vatsalya rasa also, for example, Yashodamai, when in Vatsalya primary rasa also, she exhibits krodha and other rasas,
Mhm. Exactly.
anger. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Prabhu, let me just repeat it a small thing which I understood. Maybe I'm thinking maybe I didn't get it properly. So,
yeah.
आप ये कहना चाह रहे हैं शेरवा शरण प्रभु कि Krishna experiences the Virya rasa. Krishna experiences all those secondary rasas, not the Jiva. Did you say that?
No,
Did
no,
you
no,
mean to say that?
no. So the jivas also experience secondary rasas, primary five primary rasa, one of the five primary rasas combined with one of the or one or more of the seven secondary rasas. Um, so jivas exhibit the primary and secondary both. But what I'm saying is,
In fact, it is only for Jiva, right? Dasya, Sakya, it is from our side to Krishna, right? So even Virya is also is what Bhishma is demonstrating. It's not doesn't mean that Krishna has to demonstrate, right? Like even in Dasya also,
now Krishna also exhibits, right?
he can reciprocate it,
Yeah.
but it is primarily it's the Jivas which kind of
Yes.
exhibits that and accordingly you are classified accordingly, right? When Mother Yashoda is saying that I am a parental,
Yeah.
so it is parental affection that is emanating from Yashoda towards Krishna.
Yeah.
It's not the other way. Yes, Krishna can reciprocate it, but he doesn't have to demonstrate or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying, right? When
Yeah.
Hanuman is a dasya, so he is expressing the dasya of how to
Yeah.
to the Rama. Actually.
Yeah. So it is both ways. Krishna also exhibits these, and jivas also exhibit. But the discussion here is about jivas exhibiting these primary and secondary rasas.
Obviously, yes. The answer is yes.
What is this? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Jivas can exhibit primary and secondary.
So I think then अपन
In
जिस
fact, in
बात को
every
डिस्कस
primary
कर
rasa,
रहे हैं हाँ
in fact,
जो
in
इसका
every
मतलब
primary rasa, they
yeah
will exhibit one or more of the secondary rasas.
hmm. So I
Secondary
think
rasas are
when
to enhance.
Amritananda Prabhu is saying that there is chivalry rasa according to nectar of devotion. You are saying, and Hari Parshad Prabhu is also saying that Krishna is the chivalry is when Krishna fights the demon, but not in this. I think that's what the discussion is, right?
No. Chivalry rasa is according to Sridhar Swami commentary and also what Hariparsha Prabhu said. It is when somebody is watching Krishna fighting with demons, they relish that chivalry, Virya rasa.
So you are saying that like when Krishna was fighting in the arena of Kamsa, Chanur Mustika, when the fight was going on, the people who were watching, they were only experiencing the chivalry rasa. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Come here.
Krishna will only experience it, Prabhuji. It will not be Jiva as a we only will I'm not getting the correct word on it. We only express it. Krishna will realize it. Right, Prabhuji, from our understanding.
Krishna will receive it.
Reciprocate.
He will receive and also reciprocate.
Reciprocate means in the rasa bhav. Whichever way you want, like if you are feeding your parent, he'll be a better child.
For example, Madhurya rasa.
Okay.
When a conjugal lover like Gopi worships Krishna in Madhurya Rasa, Krishna receives that and then he reciprocates in Madhurya Rasa. Yeah.
Both will be there, vice versa.
Yeah. Then only there is a loving exchange between lover and beloved, right? Yeah. Or a friend, and when there are two friends, Arjuna and Krishna, so Arjuna shows Sakya Rasa, and then Krishna receives that, and Krishna also exhibits. Yeah.
Based on these rasas, when the jiva leave the planet, they'll go to different planets, right? That's like if they are Madhuri rasa, they'll go to Goloka. So based on that, you mentioned about Partha Sarathi Loka. So
Bhishmadev reached Partha Sarathi Loka.
So based on the rasa we exhibit, we go to the worlds accordingly. Is it like that?
Yeah, based on the rasa that we worship the Supreme Personality, either we can go to one of the planets in Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavana.
So this is my understanding, Prabhu, and maybe Amritan Prabhu can chime in here actually. So there is Madhurya and there is Aishwarya.
Yeah.
And we know the difference, right?
Yeah.
If you are in Aishwarya, then you are destined for any of the Vaikuntha planets. When we say Madhurya, Madhurya is sweetness.
Yeah.
So Krishna can demonstrate that sweetness in Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya or Shringar Ras, which is the top ras or Adi Ras.
Yeah.
So there can be sweetness in also in the all the four rasas can have demonstrate the sweetness. So when we say, so I'm saying the sweetness is something which is there in all the rasas also. I know that there will be many times, even I also got to know this recently. But the top rasa is Adi Rasa or Shringar Rasa, which is conjugal love. So the sweetness is there even in the
all the rasas.
All the rasas also. So when you have this reciprocation, then you are destined for the highest, which is Golok. Because the same planet you will have Krishna's friends and gopis also, right? They both are demonstrating different rasas. That doesn't mean that their planets are whatever, right? The destinations are not different though. So there are two broad classification of the spiritual kingdom. Aishwarya, Vaikuntha. Sweetness is Golok Vrindavana.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why sometimes we hear the words Vatsalya Madhuryam or Vatsalya Madhuryata.
There is a sweetness.
So sweetness in parental affection. Yeah. Okay, so sweetness can be there in every rasa. And the so-called or popularly known Madhurya rasa is actually
Adi Rasa or
Shringar Rasa.
It's a top conjugal love.
If it's something like personal affection, all will be classified as Goloka, and then like something like Aishwarya means is something.
Because you are attracted towards, I mean to say,
opulence
of the Krishna, right? Yeah, he is a great fighter, or he has got so much of whatever, right?
Is very great person. Then Aishwarya, and then any personal affection, anything, friend or parental, love, everything is Goloka.
Maybe Amritan, you should. Amritan Prabhu, you should talk about Ruth Prabhu.
Show your Rupa Madhuri first and explain about the Madhuryata of different rasas.
Do you want to faint?
No, all the discussion about hair already happened. So that's okay.
I already defended that.
This is faint rasa.
Faint rasa. Yeah, there is a rasa. Bhivatsa rasa is there.
No, you can faint in any of the rasas. You can faint. No, so I think what Brajaram Prabhu nicely summarized that. So there's nothing to add in this, but there is as you may understand, there's a Sthayi Bhava, which is their primary rasas, and I think Chaitanya Sundar Prabhu is just sent an article indicating the last line of the article very nicely. So yes, a devotee can experience a primary rasa that defines their eternal relation with Krishna, and a secondary rasas that enrich and flavor their devotional mood situationally. So this is the essence actually. So simultaneously, so there is a permanent mood, but in that permanent mood you can experience, like us, we have a permanent mood with like we have friendship rasa with the devotees. However, in that mode we are sometimes laughing, we get sometimes angry with them, we shout at them, and something like that.
Yeah, we exhibit one or more of the secondary rasas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So basically, secondary rasas are to enhance the primary rasas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So going back to your point, so generally we think that Shringara rasa, Madhurya rasa, they are synonymous. But based on what you're saying, it's different.
Because Madhurya is sweetness, right? Like,
Yeah.
So sweetness can be there
in every rasa. Yeah.
In every rasa. Also.
Yeah.
Not on the Shanta part of it, because many acharyas don't even consider Shanta to be even a rasa also.
No, Shanta rasa also. For example, if a tree is blossoming beautiful flowers, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's possible.
Yeah. It's the fruits are sweet. That is sweet. That is Madhurya. Yeah.
Shantarasa, where they go, Goloka.
So, I don't know again, Amritan, but this is the discussion on Shanta rasa. According to Gaudiya, they don't even treat Shanta to be a rasa also. Actually. Because
but what about the trees?
No, we treat. Yeah, so we treat it. I mean, but we are not aspiring. That's the thing. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Adi Lila is saying the Chari Bhāva. Is there are 4 rasa is trying to emphasize. That doesn't mean we disregard the Shanta Bhava, but we are not aspiring for that. We are aspiring. Anything, as Vajraman Prabhu said, anything is Madhurya. That's a Gaudiya Vaishnava term of Adi Rasa or Shringar Rasa. Shringar Rasa is a term used by Bharata Muni, who wrote the Natya Shastra. So, Bhakti Rasamrita Chetan, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was written on the basis of Natya Shastra, so that it's easy for people to understand. So, the first person to actually, this is a glorification of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur of in the Madhurya Kadambini. He glorifies Srila Rupa Goswami by saying that there are many gurus who have come in the past, but I especially want to respect or pray to Srila Rupa Goswami because he introduced this concept of rasa. He gave the rasa shastra. So he was the first person to decide. Now, if I have to describe something which is spiritual, how would I describe that? So the closest to that was the Natya Shastra, which was written by Bharata Muni.
Yeah.
So he used the similar terminologies in what Bharata Muni used, so it's easy for the readers to understand.
So the Shrungara Rasa is not a Gaudiya thing. It's Bharata Muni.
I mean, we also use the Shringar Rasa. It's not like, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, he uses the term. Even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they also use it. But they were subsequent acharyas after Srila Rupa Goswami. So they are again using the same terminology. But what is my general understanding is Madhurya is sweetness. But if you want, in general, like when we say Vaikuntha, in general, when you say Vaikuntha, it is anything beyond the Brahma Jyoti. But then even the Goloka comes in the Vaikuntha. So a lot of times you see here devotees saying that, oh, we want to go to Vaikuntha Dham. So somebody who is new will get confused. Now, sometimes you say you want to go to Goloka, sometimes you're saying you want to go to Vaikuntha. So, but in general, anything beyond Brahma Jyoti we consider Vaikuntha. However, within Vaikuntha we also have Goloka Dham, which is what we are. So that is more details like.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu, for those details. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu, for wonderful class. I wanted to get some work done, but I could not because the class was so good.
No, I thought you were fainted. You were in faint rasa, and you could not do any work.
I should have come and in person and join. I'll try to join in person next time. Very nice, very nicely presented, and I have though one question, and it's just so in one of the thing you said, like I think if I recall correctly, you said Shripad Ramanujacharya is saying that one should meditate upon the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, and Parivar. So I heard about 4. So I wanted to ask if you have some understanding why Parivar is added.
Yeah. So Parivar is when we take Krishna's name, definitely he is happy. But he is more happier when we when we call Krishna in relation with his devotees or his family members, Yashodanandana. When we call just Krishna, Krishna may hear or may not hear. But when we call Yashodanandana, he will definitely pay attention.
Makes
So
sense.
somebody is calling my mother's name, Yashoda, Yashodanandana.
Right, Devaki Nandana. Like
Yeah,
that.
Devaki Nandana. Yeah. So that is one example of parivara, and the Pandavas, who are his dearmost devotees. So any devotees, any family members, they're all in the classification of parivara. So when we glorify them, when we know about parivara, that is another aspect. Just like Nama Rupa Guna Leela, parivara is another aspect.
In Sanatana Goswami's commentary on Damodar Ashtakam Dandigar Sitika, the first shloka when he explains that here Rupa Vishesha is described and then Parivar Vishesha is also described.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Five things: Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Parivara.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we do this most of the times, right? We know the importance of calling Krishna's name in relation with family members. We do all these things, but we don't know explicitly that there is an aspect. There is a aspect labeled as Parivara Vishesha.
Parivara, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice explanation.
Yeah.
Murari, and respect to the people whom he killed, right? So why we are doing that? Like
Demon's name also.
Demon's name.
Yeah.
To replace Veera.
Yeah, maybe when we call.
Based on his activities, right? Leela also we attribute his name, right? Like Murari means he has killed
Leela, but see, if you look at one of the shlokas in Mukundamala, right? He Gopalaka, he Krupa Jalanide, he Sindhu Kanya Pate, he Kamsantaka, he Gajendra Karuna, Parina, he Madhava, he Ramanuja, he Jagatraya Guru, he Pundari Kakshamam, he Gopi Jananata Palaya Param, Janami Natvam Vina. So here we can see many examples of Parivara Vishesha. Krishna name in association with Parivara members. So there, He Kamsantaka, He Gajendra. No, He Kamsantaka. So why?
Also the name Madhusudana, Murari, like that. So why Howard?
See, again, this is as Amritan was about what he asked about Parivar. Even I also wanted to ask, but looks like Parivar is more associated with the Leela, right? Maybe a subset of Leela because you have to perform with your whatever. Like Parivar is your close associates or your family members. So even this is the first time I heard. I have never heard of.
I also associated with Leela. The Parivar is already included.
So Leela is the action part, right?
Right.
The activity. The
activities. So,
yeah.
But again, you have to like if I have to eat my dinner, I have to eat with my family only.
Yeah. So Parivara are the actors.
So I mean, whatever you do, activities is obviously with your close associates and whoever, right? Whether in office or work or home or devote, right? So
yeah.
I think again, I have never heard about it. Maybe we have to look what is it Parivar aspect. Is it closely
so for example,
or is it different aspect? Because that Nam aspect, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, right? All they can be on 4 different things.
Yeah.
Now this Parivara is it part of the Leela aspect of it or whatever, right? So
no, I think it's separate because
it's separate?
Yeah. So I think these are the 2 things that I can think of, like 2 examples. One is, for example, in 10th canto, there is an elaborative description of Yashoda Mata. Yashoda Mata's beauty and all the things, different activities done by Yashoda Mata. And we also know very it's well-known thing that we hear many times that Krishna is more happy when the devotees are glorified.
That is true.
So the devotees they're not, I mean, they are part of his Leela, but if you just glorify devotees outside Krishna's Leela, we are glorifying devotees as is. Devotees have these good qualities, and they have, exhibited these qualities like this. When we glorify the devotees, Krishna is more happier than when we glorify Krishna directly.
That is true.
So that is another aspect, parivara.
So you think devotees and parivara are like same as kind of like.
Yeah, devotees are associates, right?
I don't know. Maybe possibility there can be overlap, but not always, right? Or not all devotees can be parivara. I know that when we take initiation, we get initiated in Achyuta Gotra and things like that, right? But
parivara may not be just the family, like Krishna's parents, may not be just like that. Parivara, it can be all associates, all the devotees who belong to Krishna. For example, especially the Damodara Ashtakam, Nanda Maharaj Prabhu mentioned, right?
So in this commentary only, like in the first explanation of first verse, I don't know whether it is a different category because he's calling Vishesha. So he's saying, Tattva Vishesha and then Rupa Vishesha and then Leela Vishesha separately and Parivara Vishesha separately is mentioned when we talk about his Yashoda Maya is doing this, so Parivara Vishesha is.
Yeah, exactly. There is a Tattva. In addition to what we discussed, there is a Tattva Vishesha.
Yeah. Is separate. So I don't know whether it is a separate then, because Tattva Vishesha will also come in when we say Rupa. So there are different aspects, right? Like so Tattva Vishesha will come there also.
Yeah. So I can quote another shloka from Kundmal Stotra where these 4 different aspects are mentioned by Kulshekar Alvar. Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam Karomi Narayana Pujanam Sada Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmalam Smarami Narayana Tattvam Avyayam. There is Tattvam, there is Nama, there is Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam Rupam. Okay. So different aspects. Nama, Rupa, Tattvam is there.
But yeah, obviously there might be overlaps and all. Like this is a different category. And
Tattva is a generic thing, right? I mean to say you can even Nama is also part of the Tattva. Guna is also part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's basically, I think, different models of Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is one way of meditating on the Lord with different aspects, and then this Vishesha, I don't know what
Everything belongs to Lord. Somehow we have to remember Him through any of His names.
Yeah. So that's what Ramanacharya was saying. When we immerse in or when we swim across these swim into these oceans, 7 oceans: Saundarya, Saushilya, Madhurya, Audarya, Gambhirya, Karunya, Vatsalya, and glorify Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Parivara, and now another thing added, Tattva. Then we can remember Krishna.
Last question, like you said, Bhīṣma Pitama is more closer than Pandavas, right? So because of the more rasas, Shanta and Dasya rasa, because of that it is more closer, or what Leela is there being the intensity?
No, not because of the rasa. So rasa wise, Sakya, as a friend is higher and more closer to Krishna, right? Than Dasya. But because of the sacrifices that Bhīṣma Dev has done, because the way Bhīṣma Dev protected Pandavas, especially on the battlefield, Bhīṣma Dev, he was standing on the opposite army, right? On the Kaurava side against Arjuna. And till that day when Bhīṣma Dev took the vow that, when Duryodhana poked him saying that, hey, you're not giving your 100% on the battlefield, then Bhīṣma Dev got angry and he said, okay, now tomorrow I'll take a vow. Tomorrow either I will kill Arjuna or I'll make Krishna break his vow of not lifting a weapon. Until that point, Bhīṣma Dev was protecting Arjuna. So even though he was shooting arrows, but he was not making Arjuna fall. Yeah. And even in the last stage, right? When he has taken vow, his intention was not to make Arjuna fall, but his intention was to break Krishna's vow.
In fact, his intention was to glorify the Lord as Bhaktavatsala.
Yeah. Okay, online. If there is nothing else, we can wrap up here. Thank you everyone for joining. Please join next week also. We'll continue the remaining shlokas. And if there is anything that I have spoken incorrectly, please forgive me. And if anything that I have spoken properly and that inspires you, the credit goes to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Bhīṣma Stuti ki jai, Śrī Bhīṣma Pitamaha ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Looking forward to the next
Great.
week's.
Yes.
Haribol. Yeah, looking forward. Yeah, Haribol. Jai.